this identification of histology slides. There are less slides this time, so we'll complete it fast. Okay, you just have to identify the slides. So identify the slide number 1. Which slide is this? You can unmute to answer if you can guess. If you want to guess, you can answer. Anybody? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, तो ये स्लाइड नहीं समझ में आई?
No, sir.
This is a salivary gland and a mucous salivary gland. I cannot zoom it here on this screen, but you can see that these are all acini, in which you are not being able to see the intercellular junctions, the cellularity, the nuclei, the intercellular inclusions. I mean, they're not taking good stain. So that means they're pale stained cells, and that's mucin containing cells. So that's why it's a mucous acini. And remember that mucous acini, they have flattened basal nucleus. So that's why you get the margins of the acini, but not the the entire cellularity is not clearly, it doesn't take a good stain because of the mucin, which is a neutral substance. And of course you'll also find the intercalated tubules, then interlobular ducts, blood vessels in between. And in case if you find a mucous acini covered by a crescentric serous acini, that is an example of a mixed salivary gland, and that is called crescent of Giannuzzi or demilune of Heidenreich. That's like identifying a mixed salivary gland. Now identify the slide.
Sir, tongue.
Tongue. Or
Sir, tissue.
which tissue?
Adipose tissue.
No. You should appreciate on this thing and these things. Think about this and surrounding tissue. So this is a thin skin, which is
Yes,
a
sir,
hairy
skin.
So as I gave you a hint to look on this epithelium, this you seeing is a stratified epithelium, है ना? And dermoepidermal junctions जो होते हैं, जिसकी वजह से the basal layer of the epidermis, you find this papillary type of projections. And other thing is you find is not a single layer, it is a stratified layer. So, and even keratin. So this is a stratified squamous epithelium, and down below basically this sectioning, sometimes when you take sections of the slide, it's not always horizontal, transverse, oblique, whatever the sections may be. So there you find that the hair follicles have been cut transversely. These are all hair follicles which have been cut transversely, and the rest of it is the connective tissue, the superficial fascia. Identify the slide. This one is? No guesses? Look
So
here.
gallbladder.
Look here.
Size skin.
So this is a thin skin. Again, a hairy skin. You're seeing here that this is the surface epithelium, which is stratified squamous, and down below these are the hair follicles invaginating into the skin, reaching into the dermis. You can see these are the hair follicles. At least with this you can think about this epithelium is invaginating in the form of hair follicles, and there are smooth muscles or sometimes sebaceous glands are seen along with these hair follicles. And the rest of is the connective tissue below the skin. Identify the slide.
So fallopian tube.
No. This is a hollow tubular viscera. You find is a lumen here.
Small intestine.
Sir, gallbladder.
थोड़ा सा डार्क है ये स्लाइड, अदरवाइज इज क्लियर.
Yes, sir. Small intestine.
Small intestine, and this is the lumen. बेसिकली जो गॉल ब्लैडर से कंफ्यूजन था वो ये बता दें कि विलाई नो डाउट्स यहाँ पे बहुत क्लियर नहीं है, सम इरेगुलर से विलाई दिख रहे हैं. एंड रिमेंबर इन गॉल ब्लैडर आई टोल्ड यू देयर विल बी इरेगुलर ब्रांच्ड विलाई, right, of different heights villi or of different types. But there I told you that the villi, I mean those, the mucosa is resting directly on the muscular layer. You don't have a submucosa. Here what you're seeing is these are the intestinal glands, the crypts of Lieberkühn. This you can identify. This you will find this in the gallbladder. So these of course are the villi. These are all villi, but down below you find when the villi reach to the margins of this mucosal layer, they get embedded deep inside, and these are deeply stained because they are all enzyme secreting cells, right? Zymogen granules all there in them. So these are embedded down below crypts of Lieberkühn. And down below to this mucosa, I mean, lamina propria, they will find also is lymphocytes, lymphatic aggregates, a part of GALT, gut associated lymphoid tissue. They're also called as Peyer's patches. In case if you find mucosal glands, the Brunner's gland, then you can easily say that it is a duodenum. Otherwise, it's a small intestine. Identify the slide.
So kidney.
Can you look here? Actually, there's something here. These cells. No, my time now, you should have in habit of identifying the nervous tissue. This is a slide of a spinal cord. Actually, the entire spinal cord cannot be like focused in the field of view. So here you're seeing is the posterior median sulcus or septa, and this will be the dorsal horn, the gray matter, and there are the neurons relaying here, the second order neurons. The first order neurons relay here, and the second orders arise from here. And if in case it's an anterior horn, because it no doubt looks like an anterior horn, because the posterior horn, the dorsal horn reaches to the margin, posterolateral sulcus, and there was this posterior marginal nucleus. Then you have substantia gelatinosa, nucleus proprius, Clarke's column. Those were all the set of nuclei in the dorsal column. And the dorsal horn was reaching up to the posterolateral sulcus. But the anterior horn, it doesn't joins with the anterolateral sulcus. So here you're seeing that it is not reaching to the margin. So if it's in anterior horn, actually this becomes in confusion. It should have been anterior median longitudinal fissure then. But the cells are more of suggestive of the pyramidal cells because they're having a space surrounding. But you need not mention about like anterior or the posterior horn, but you only need to identify that this slide is of a spinal cord, because you're seeing is the nervous tissue here, and this is all the white matter of the nervous tissue. Identify the slide.
The duodenum.
Yes?
Duodenum.
Duodenum. Anybody else? This is again the same slide.
Oh,
Small intestine. This time the lumen has not been focused. Instead, only one side of the wall has been focused, and these are all villi. And this you can see, these are all crypts of Libercule. Right? So this is the mucosal layer, and down below is the submucosa. And below to that is the lamina propria first, and then is the submucosa, and beyond to that will be the muscular layer on the outside. Not well, actually. This stain has been very dark stain. Everything is seen as a violet thing. Now identify this slide.
Spinal cord.
spinal cord.
Okay, good. So if you learn this to identify, make sure you are able to identify the pyramidal cells. Okay, this will help you in long run, because cerebrum also you'll help. This type of tissue will help you identify cerebrum. This will help you identify the neurohypophysis, the pituitary, posterior pituitary, and this will also help you identify the cerebellum. So if you are in a habit of identifying these pyramidal cells, they are big cells, and they have this space surrounding, and surrounded by a dense stained gray matter, and in the periphery you finding is the white matter. This probably is the anterior horn of the spinal cord. Okay, identify the slide. ये क्या है?
सर ये लीवर.
Liver.
वेरी गुड. ये लिवर है, इसमें सेंट्रल वेन है, एंड मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट इज यू आर सीइंग इज द रेडिएटिंग पैटर्न ऑफ द hepatocytes in a hepatic lobule, and there you find is the portal triad, also the bile canaliculi, then tributaries of portal vein, branches of hepatic artery, and all they forming the portal triads in the periphery of this hepatic lobule, and the radiating pattern of hepatocytes surrounding the central vein. So this will be helping you identify the liver. Now identify this slide.
Sir,
No idea?
uterus. Sir, uterus.
No. This is a slide of stomach. Now look here. First of all, the mucosa is really thick compared to the small intestine. The mucosa of stomach is very thick. Then these intestinal glands, gastric glands, they're all tubular glands. They're tubular glands, especially in the region of fundus. They are traversing fundus and the body. They are traversing the entire length of the mucosa. So these gastric glands, simple tubular glands, they are reaching to the entire length. They're traversing the entire length of the mucosa. One thing. However, they will not reach to the entire length. They will reach half the length inside in case of fundus and case of pyloric region. But in the body of the stomach, remember, these gastric glands that traverse the entire length of the mucosa, and they have a lot of goblet cells also. It will, it needs to have line with a thick coat of mucosa. So you find there is, like, pale cells here in the neck region of the gastric glands, and these are all goblet cells also. And at the basal portion of these glands, you find is a deep staining, a dense staining, because here you find is the chief cells and the zymogen cells and the oxyntic cells, right? That's parietal cells which secrete HCl, right? As well as the zymogen cells will secrete enzymes, amacrine cells, and the smooth muscles down below. This is the muscularis mucosae, and then is the submucosa. This is the muscular cord, right? So who will tell me the muscles there in the stomach? Muscular cord.
Sir, longitudinal, inner circular,
Longitudinal.
outer longitudinal muscle.
There
और
are
बीच
three
में sir
muscular
और
cords in the
yes sir
stomach.
oblique muscle in between the inner circular
Transverse.
layer के inner होगा. Yes sir.
So if you remember these, basically this, different layers of the muscles, you will not be able to identify. Basically, longitudinal is well understood, because longitudinal in a cut sections you will be finding the transverse sections of the skeletal muscle fiber with the peripheral eccentric nucleus, and if it's longitudinally placed, there also you'll find is multinucleated muscle fibers with the peripheral eccentric nuclei. But actually, whenever this slide of GIT is focused, basically the mucosal layer is primarily focused. So you have to idea of identifying the slide with the help of the mucosal surfaces, right? Identify the slide.
Sir, fibrocartilage.
Anybody?
Sir, fibrocartilage.
Fibrocartilage is an example of example of a regular dense fibrous connective tissue or an irregular dense fibrous connective tissue.
Regular, sir.
Regular.
I had taught you about that. Then the dense fibrous connective tissue is divided into two categories. One is a regular fibrous connective tissue, and other is a irregular fibrous connective tissue. Irregular means there is haphazard meshwork of fibrous tissue, and if all these collagens they are placed parallelly, they form a regular dense fibrous connective tissue, right? So here you can very easily see that there are a lot of bundles of collagen fibers. At least you identified the fibers, that's correct. So all these are like collagen fibers, but you can see they are parallelly running fibers. Yes. So the examples of this one is a regular fibrous connective tissue, dense fibrous connective tissue, but regular. So regular dense fibrous connective tissue, the examples, remember, it includes aponeurosis, which has like a fixed direction of the fibers. Remember, interosseous membranes, right, between radius ulna and tibia fibula. They're example of regular fibrous dense connective tissue. Then aponeurosis ho gaya, interosseous membranes hain, and tendons, because tendons, if they have been made of irregular tissue, remember, a lot of energy would have been dissipated. So to bring about efficient work, the tendons have all regular fibrous, parallelly arranged collagen fibers. So you remember that this slide you can see now is of a tendon, where all the fibers running are parallelly and regularly arranged. So examples of regular dense fibrous connective tissue where fibers are parallelly arranged, and examples I told you: aponeurosis, interosseous membranes, tendons, and few ligaments like ligamentum patelli, which is a longitudinal band running, And the examples of irregular dense fibrous connective tissue includes, remember, irregular में अभी किसी ने बताया था फाइब्रोकार्टिलेज इज irregular.
Fibrocartilage.
हाँ, उसमें कोलेजन fibers will be in a form of meshwork, irregularly, haphazardly arranged. Dermis of the skin and dura matter. They are, because वहां पे टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ की जरूरत है. If a fibrous tissue needs to be providing a tensile strength, then it will have to be strong, and that is like in a form of a meshwork. But if it's in this direction of any contractile tissue where it has to be in alignment with the direction of pull of the muscle, maybe aponeurosis and maybe in a tendon. And remember, interosseous membrane, I told you, it has a very significant role in the weight transmission. Like I asked you, like if you're, how to, the weight from the palm and the fist is being transmitted to the axial skeleton, then interosseous membrane between radius and ulna has a role, because weight from radius cannot be shared to humerus.
Yes, sir.
Humeral joint is capitate and head of capitate of humerus and head of radius. They form an annular semi you can say ball and socket joint. Right, so that radiohumeral joint is an unstable joint, but humeroulnar is a hinge joint, and that is a very stable. So weight from the radius is shared to ulna through the interosseous membrane. Again, for that purpose also, the line, they have a fixed parallel direction of collagen fibers. Okay, so that was all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I'm unlocking it. So